Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie if you're new here, and today we're going to be looking at everything that I bought from Pahlish Pickup last year. So Pahlish Pickup, or PPU for short, is this really big indie brand collaboration that happens on the first weekend of every month. And each month there's a new theme, so all the brands will submit polishes or other kind of products that fit that theme. So it's really fun, and I'll have a little bit more information at the end of the video. But yeah, I normally don't shop a lot during Pahlish Pickup, so it's never enough to do like a whole video at the end of each month to show what I got. So I figured I might as well just put it all together in one video. So let me show you my haul. The first polish that I grabbed in March as part of the Maker's Choice theme was KB Shimmer's Beat You To It, which is this really stunning teal blue reflective with a vibrant greenish gold shimmer running throughout. So maybe some of you remember, but I had actually shared this one as part of my summer favorites video, and if you kind of saw in the initial bottle shot, there definitely is a noticeable fill line already. You know I love a good teal, and this one is just so mind-blowingly insane with its formula, even though I do think my brush is a little wonky because it is just super, super wide. And I also haven't used this one in a while, so it definitely needs some thinner. But I still absolutely love this one. I know that I've worn it as a full manicure before on both of my hands, so I think that goes to show that I just love this one, especially in the summer. And the second polish that I grabbed was Noodles nail polish Blueberry Lemonade, which, funny enough, actually doesn't have a label on the bottle. I thought that was like so funny and kind of cute. But this one was inspired by a fan favorite Noodles nail polish called Pink Lemonade, which I've obviously had in my collection for years, so I knew that I needed to pick up its sister shade. This one is a very, very light blue crelly base filled with small and micro blue, white, and yellow matte glitters. So crellies typically look the best in 3 coats to make the base fully opaque, but you can also wear them in 2 coats for a slightly milky kind of look. I usually find Noodles nail polishes to be really self-leveling, so they're usually flattering on 2 coats, and I definitely like that look in the summertime, but I'll be showing this one built up in 3 coats. So I don't wear crellies as often as I used to, but they still hold such a soft spot in my heart since they remind me of when I first got into indie nail polish to begin with. And I've mentioned this before, but Noodles nail polish was like my second indie brand that I ever tried. So it's just such a special brand for me, and I'm always excited to see what Natalie comes out with. Sadly though, I've only worn this one once in the summer so far, but it was such a cute mani. Since there's a bunch of glitter, I definitely do recommend using a peel-off base coat because it just gets annoying to scrub all of that away. So here's what it looks like with 3 coats and a top coat. It's so soft and refreshing for summer. So in May, it was the National Parks and Landmarks theme, and I only grabbed 1 polish, and it was another Noodles nail polish. This one is called Trevi Fountain. So I've never been to Italy, but I still vividly remember how in awe I was when I first learned about and saw the Trevi Fountain. So I was just super drawn to this shade just for that reason. It's another incredible crelly formula from Noodles, and if you can believe it, this is my first time trying it. I was so blown away by the coverage on this one because of how evenly it applied. I honestly think because this one has a lot more of the micro glitters, it's not as dense, if that makes sense. So it's just smoother to apply. But I ended up doing 2 coats just to kind of make it full coverage, and this one is just so beautiful. I feel like it would look extra soft with a matte top coat, And I love wearing Crelly's matte, even though, again, it's been a while, but I'm really excited to try this one in another month or so, just as a perfect winter to spring transitional kind of shade. So yeah, this is 2 coats with top coat. In August, I actually grabbed a couple of polishes and a cuticle balm for their marine magic theme. So the first shade that I was hooked by is Pahlish Send Nudis, or Nudis. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. I feel like Nudis is funnier, but anyway, this one is a kind of sky blue cornflower crelly that's packed with a gorgeous multi-chrome shimmer that shifts from a bright coral that you see head on to peach and gold in more extreme angles. You know I love dreamy shades like this so much. This one honestly has really similar vibes to Cirque's Huga, which you already know is one of my favorite polishes, but it's slightly different, so that obviously means that I needed it. This one looks so pretty as a full manicure, but I also used it in a dreamy cloud mani gradient before. I just cannot get enough of shades like this. So here's what it looks like in 2 coats. I personally find it opaque enough for me that I don't need a third, but I could see myself needing one if my nails were longer. The other shade that I grabbed is Fantastic Jellyfish by the brand Whatcha. It's a vibrant purple base that's packed with red shimmer and blue reflective glitter. And I was just so blown away when I saw swatches of this one. It just builds up so beautifully and is so sparkly. I think I've mentioned this before in some video, but there's just something about polishes that have either a red shimmer or a really small, like micro red glitter that just get me. So the way that the shimmer sparkles in this one, oh, I just love it so much. And I actually think I have worn this as a full manicure before, sometime in the fall, but I don't think I ever posted it. So I'm glad that I'm swatching it again for you because it is just such a beautiful shade. Since this one is pretty dark, I was able to get it opaque in 2 coats for me, but I could see myself needing a third in the future when my nails are longer just because it has a slightly jelly base. So here it is with top coat and under flash, so you can kind of see those blue reflective glitters a little bit better. It is just such a beautiful polish. I cannot get enough of this one. And lastly, I picked up this barrier butter from Cuticles in the scent Fruity Pooba. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's scented like Fruity Pebbles. So I've never tried this brand before, but I love how Fruity Pebbles smells, so I just had to grab this one. Even though I'm not a big fan of cuticle balm or butters, I'm mainly a cuticle oil person, and as you can see, this is definitely a butter. It's a lot more greasy compared to oils and balms, and a little definitely goes a long way. Like, you see that small amount that I have there, that's gonna be enough for my whole hand. So it was a little bit off-putting at first. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting because it's a barrier butter, not a balm. So I figured it was gonna be a little different formula-wise. But the good news is that this little tub is probably going to last me for like 10 years at least. So you'll have to let me know how you feel about butters or balms in general, because I'm trying to use them more, especially during these dry winter months. And again, with this Fruity Pebbles scent, I'm not really going to complain about it, you know? So yeah, definitely very hydrating and moisturizing. I would definitely recommend using butters or balms in general, maybe at night. Since October is my birthday month, I decided to spoil myself a little, and I picked up a few more polishes than usual for their sidekicks theme. So the first one that caught my eye was Painted Polish's The Witch is Back, which is this almost deep blood red jelly that's packed with reflective and holographic glitters. This one was absolutely breathtaking. I was sold as soon as I saw the first swatch of it, and I was just so excited to order it. I ended up wearing it on one of my hands for Halloween. And I really hope Lexi releases something similar for fall this year, since this one is definitely a deeper, more true red compared to the one that came out in her fall collection. But maybe we'll get lucky and see this come back during the PPU rewind. So yeah, this one was perfectly opaque for me in 2 coats, but like all reflectives, they're gonna dry down a little gritty. So of course, you're gonna want to top coat, maybe even double up depending on how smooth you want your finish. But yeah, here it is under flash, so you can see the reflectives, and it is just so mesmerizing. The other fall shade that I grabbed was KB Shimmer's Pump It Up, which is another reflective glitter in this gorgeous rusty pumpkin orange base. So sadly, I haven't had the chance to wear this one. I really wish I had, especially in November, because it really is just such a perfect fall shade. This one definitely seems to have a much better brush and a pretty smooth formula. So yeah, I definitely need to either get a new brush for Beat You To It or just add a little more thinner. But I absolutely love this one. I got it opaque in 2 coats, and I think it just looks so pretty and sparkly. There's something about how delicate the sparkles are with the color combination in this one that just kind of remind me of cinnamon sugar. I don't know. I might be reaching with that, but maybe you get what I mean. But yeah, here it is under flash, and it is so beautiful. I'm already kind of missing fall. I also picked up a few wintry polishes, starting with Polish for Days Friend Like Me. So this was another one that I absolutely loved the swatches of. So it kind of ended up as a last minute add to cart, but I definitely don't regret it. I've actually used Polish for Days before, but it has been a good number of years, so it was really nice to try them again. The formula was really great and so smooth to apply. The base was a little bit sheer on the first coat, but the shimmer is so intense that it covers it up so much. Like, you only see the bald spots in certain angles of lighting. But I still did 2 coats to get it fully opaque. And yeah, I'm just a huge fan of the shimmer in this one and how it's like this bright aqua that shifts to blue and then purple in extreme angles. I love the base color in this one, and then obviously those irregular hollow flakies. It is just such a perfect winter polish for me. The last polish that I grabbed in October is Artoo by Colores de Carol, which is another new to me brand. This one is a super dense reflective glitter topper in a slightly tinted base. At least I think it's slightly tinted. It might just be that packed with all these glitters that it just ends up building some color on its own. But there are also a few metallic white and blue glitters as well. So when I first saw this, I just thought it would be so beautiful in one coat, especially layered over something dark like a navy. So I cannot wait to try that. But I am going to be showing this built up in 3 coats because I also really love how it looks in the bottle. And I wanted to see how many coats it would take to look like that on my nails. So this one definitely ended up looking a little bit thick, but I think that was just me being heavy-handed and impatient to just get this on my nails. So you'll have to let me know what you think of it once it's built up on its own. If it's too much glitter, is that a thing for you? Or are you a fan of this? Because I actually really liked it, especially once the flash was on and you just see all those reflective glitters shine. But I definitely am really excited to just try this layered over a dark cream base. For November's 'Tis the Season theme, I only grabbed 2 polishes since I was trying to be mindful of my Black Friday shopping that I was going to do later in the month. But the first one that I grabbed is Painted Polish's Feelin Frosty. It's another white crelly that's packed with aqua and periwinkle micro glitter. I've been a fan of painted polish for years now, and I just love her white crelly micro glitters so much. This one had such an amazing formula, as expected, but honestly, it still took me by surprise for being a white crelly. They were just notoriously splotchy, you know, especially on the first coat. So this one is just so perfect for this time of year, and I'm really excited to wear this in a mani soon. I just need to figure out if I want to wear it on its own, because part of me doesn't want to cover this up with nail art, but maybe I'll pair it with a few other creams and do a cute skittle. But yeah, this one is opaque for me in 2 coats, although I could see myself needing a third just to make the white base a little bit more opaque on longer nails. The other polish that I grabbed was Great Lakes Lacquer Lake Superior Shenanigans, which is this white crelly with a shifty green to blue to purple shimmer in very extreme angles. So this was my first time trying this brand, but when I saw Caitlin Swatches here on YouTube share this one on her channel, I knew that I had to grab it. It is just so up my alley, being one of those dreamy, whimsical kind of shades, and I was just so blown away by the formula on this one. On the first coat, it gave me really great coverage. It's not perfectly opaque or even coverage for that matter, but it just is so beautiful with the shimmer that I feel like you can just get away with wearing it in 1 coat. But I still did 2 just to kind of see how that builds up, and it was opaque enough for me. I think if I wanted it fully opaque, I would do a 3rd coat, but I just love how soft this one looks. I'm just so in love with white crellies in the winter time, so I'm just really glad to have this one in my collection. And lastly, for December, we had another Maker's Choice theme, and this time I just grabbed 3 shades. I really tried to limit myself and not use it as another excuse to shop for myself for Christmas. But yeah, the first one that I grabbed is Kathleen & Co.'s Snow Globe, which is like an almost periwinkle base packed with gold shimmer and hollow flakies. So I first tried Kathleen & Co. years ago, and I only recently grabbed a few more during their Black Friday sale from their winter collection. So I'm really glad that they're just back on my radar, because they have such soft and pretty shades that again are so up my alley. The shimmer is super strong in this one, but I do wish you could see the periwinkle base a little bit more. Maybe it's better in indirect lighting, but this one is still so beautiful in just 2 coats. The next shade that I grabbed is Ethereal Lacquer's Neptune Planet Power, which is another new to me brand. And this one was a last minute add to cart because it honestly just reminded me of Mooncat's Ocean Lies, which I do have a bottle of, but they discontinued it. And I wish I had grabbed a backup bottle. So I was kind of hoping this would be a dupe, but it's not. So now I have this polish that has very similar vibes to a polish that I absolutely love, but I'm just not sure how I feel about this one. The color is absolutely gorgeous. I do love the base shade and the contrasting shimmer. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. The formula is really good as well. I mean, it's really sheer even on 2 coats, but it builds up a lot better on 3. I don't know. Maybe it's just my first time trying it, so I need to wear it again in the spring or summer and I'll like it more. But I still think this one is beautiful, and I am interested in some other Ethereal Lacquer shades, so I don't think I would go as far as saying that I regret getting this one. And the last polish that I picked up was Painted Polish's Feelin Mighty Pine. It's a deep evergreen jelly in her reflective micro glitter formula. This one was honestly also a last minute add to cart. I had been talking to my friend Steph over on Instagram over what we were gonna get, and this one was on her list and I could just not stop thinking about it. I saw so many gorgeous swatches as well that sold me on it too. So formula-wise, this one was a little sheer on the first coat in some spots, but it evens out perfectly on the second coat while still maintaining that deep forest green color. I feel like it looks really, really dark where it can almost look black, but it's definitely green. I think this one is so breathtaking, and I'm just so happy that I grabbed it. I know all my green lovers would love this one, and I'm so sorry if this is your first time seeing this beauty. I really hope you're able to find it in a D-stash or something, but it's beautiful. So that wraps up my little swatch and review of everything that I grabbed last year during Polish Pickup. So I really can't wait to hear what you think of my haul, because seeing them lined up, I was just so surprised to see how much blue I ended up picking up over the course of the year. And I only grabbed 14 polishes as well, so I feel like over 12 months, that's really not that bad at all. So I'm pretty impressed with myself. I'm definitely curious to see how it'll be at the end of this year, which I know is crazy because this year only just started. But yeah, the next polish pickup is actually this weekend. So it's gonna be live from January 6th to January 9th. And the theme is Greek mythology. So I already looked at the website and I don't think I'm gonna be getting anything. There were a few polishes that I liked, but I think I'm gonna hold off on this month. But what I did want to share were a few polishes that I saw on the website that reminded me of some of the polishes I shared with you today, in case you were interested in some possible dupes. So the first polish that I saw was Damn Nail Polish's Queen of the Gods, and that one really reminded me of KB Shimmer's Beat You To It, because they both have these like teal blue bases and then that kind of greenish gold shimmer. They're both reflective polishes as well, but the main difference is that Damn is a magnetic. I guess if you do like a velvet effect, it might look the most similar to KB Shimmer's Beat You To It, but color-wise, they're pretty similar in my opinion. So there were two polishes that reminded me of Kathleen & Co.'s Snow Globe. The first one was Ethereal Lacquer's Iris, which looks like it has a pretty similar, you know, lavender base color, and it has like a really intense shimmer and those little hollow flakies as well. The main difference is the shimmer in Iris is more of like a red orange, and in Snow Globe it's like yellow to green to blue, so the colors of the rainbow don't overlap. The other polish that reminded me of Snow Globe was called Divine Light by the brand Nailed It. And again, that one has a somewhat similar, you know, lavender purple base with the same shimmer and hollow flakies, but this time the shimmer is more of like a copper to gold to green. So the colors of the rainbow are a little bit like, it's like the shimmer in this one has a combination of Snow Globe and Iris, if that makes sense. So either way, I feel like just these two polishes would be a great alternative if you missed out on Snow Globe. It just depends what color shimmer you prefer or how much of a shift you like seeing. And lastly, Cupcake Polish is coming out with Icarus, which reminded me of Ethereal Lacquer's Neptune Planet Power. So I think the bases are pretty similar, even though in Icarus it's a little bit more green leaning, a little bit lighter, but they both have this kind of copper to gold shimmer. You just end up seeing like the reverse head on, depending on like which polish you're looking at, if that makes sense. So overall, color-wise, they just have a lot of things in common. So I think Icarus would be a great option if you missed out on this Ethereal Lacquer shade. So hopefully that was a little bit helpful in case you were looking for some dupes to some of the polishes that I shared. But other than that, I would love to know what your thoughts are on polish pickup and if you've shopped from them before, especially if you did grab any of the shades that I shared today. I would love to hear them and what you think about them. Or if this is gonna be your first time shopping from them. I feel like that's also so fun to talk about. But let me know any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.